Hey, welcome to the podcast. This is The Surge Effect, and I'm your host, Mike Surge. This podcast will be talking about anything and everything, life in general to current events and past events, and all things about this beautiful and wonderful world that we live in. And this podcast, well, it'll probably have an effect on you. Welcome to another motivational message from The Surge Effect. This episode, we're going to be talking about 7 tips for developing your personal philosophy. This is all from a man by the name of Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of my all-time favorites. He had a great way of putting words together, and he had a great philosophy about life. And here is 7 tips. Number 1, set your sail. The winds of circumstance blow upon all of us. We all have experienced the winds of disappointment, despair, and heartbreak. But why do people arrive at such different places at the end of the journey? Have we not all sailed upon the same sea? The major difference is not the circumstances. It's the set of the sail, or the way we think. It's what we do after we've set our sails and the wind decides to change direction. When the wind decides to change its direction, we must change. We have to struggle to our feet and resist the sail in a manner that will steer us in the direction of our own deliberate choice. To set of the sail, or how we think and how we respond, has a far greater capacity to destroy our lives than any challenges we face. How quickly we respond to adversity is far more important than adversity itself. The great challenge of life is to control the process of our own thinking. Number 2, learn from success and failure. The best way to establish a new and powerful personal philosophy is to objectively review the conclusions you've drawn about life. Any conclusions you've drawn that isn't working for you could be working against you. The best way to counteract the misinformation and wrong data is to input new and accurate information. Gather information from personal experience. If you're doing something wrong, evaluate what you did wrong and change things. Seek an objective outside voice about how you are and what you're doing. An objective opinion from someone you respect can lead you to early and accurate information about your decision-making process. Listen to the freshness of an outside voice, someone who can see the forest and isn't lost in the trees. Observe the success and failures of other people. If people who failed were to give seminars, it would be very helpful. We could see how people mess up and how you wouldn't do what they did. Past failures and errors prompt us to amend current conduct so we don't replicate the past. Study from people who do well. Each of us should be in a constant search for people we admire and respect and whose behavior we can model. It's far better to deliberately choose the people we will permit to influence us than to allow bad influences to affect us without our conscious choice. Number 3, read all you can. People from all walks of life who've had some of the most incredible experiences have taken the time to write of these experiences so we can be instructed and amend our philosophies. The contributions of other people enable us to reset our sails based upon their experiences. Books offer treasures of information that can change our lives. Fortunes, relationships, health, and careers for the better. There are 2 books you need to read to build your philosophy. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. I've read these 2 books and they are outstanding. I Tell my kids about reading them as well. Outstanding books. I highly recommend them. Number 4, keep a journal. A journal is a gathering place for all of your observations and discoveries about life. It's our own handwritten transcript that captures our experiences, ideas, desires, and conclusions about the people and the events that have touched our lives. The past, when properly documented, is one of the best guides for making good decisions. The very act of writing about our lives helps us think more objectively about our actions. Writing tends to slow down the flow of information and gives us time to analyze and ponder the experience. The intense scrutiny of journal writing can enable us to make refinements in our philosophy and our true life changing. Jot down what you learn and be a buyer of empty books. It's the small disciplines that lead to great accomplishments. Number 5, observe and listen. Pay attention during your day and watch what's going on. Surround yourself with people you respect and admire. Find people whose personalities and achievements stimulate, fascinate, and inspire you, and then strive to assimilate their best qualities. This is called the skill of selecting. Don't waste your time on the silly and the shallow. One of the major reasons people don't do well is because they keep trying to get through the day, while a more worthy cause is to get from the day. We must become sensitive enough to observe and ponder what is happening around us. Be alert. Be awake. Often the most extraordinary opportunities are hidden among seemingly insignificant events. Be a good listener. Find a voice of value and stay for a while. With so many voices vying for your attention, you need to develop the skill of selective listening and only dial into the radio station that appeals to you. If a voice is not lending to the achievement of your goals, exercise caution in how long you listen. Number 6, be disciplined. Every day is filled with dozens of personal crossroads, moments when we're called upon to make a decision regarding minor as well as major questions. These decisions chart a path to a future destination. With careful mental preparation, we can make wise choices. The development of a sound philosophy prepares us for making sound decisions. When we eat healthy foods, we experience positive results in a short time. When we start exercising, we feel a new vitality almost immediately. When we begin reading, we experience a growing awareness and a new level of self-confidence. New disciplines practiced daily will produce exciting results. The magic of new disciplines cause us to amend our thinking. Number 7, don't neglect. Neglect is the major reason people don't have what they want. If you don't take care of things in your life, neglect becomes a disease. If you neglect to do things with your money, you probably neglect to do good things with your time. If you don't know what's going on with your health or your bank account, you could be at risk. Set up new disciplines to change your life. Don't neglect. Everything is within our reach. If we will read books, use journals, practice and disciplines, and wage new and vigorous battle against neglect. Build your philosophy, commit yourself to a new journey, and say, I'm going to change my life. Once you do, you'll never look back. Wise words, wise tips from a great man, Jim Rohn. If you've never heard of Jim Rohn, I suggest you go and look him up online, read some of his books, listen to some of his seminars and his philosophies. You can incorporate these into your life, and you'll be amazed at just little things that can change in your life. for the better. So I hope you can use these 7 tips of personal growth and philosophy in your own life and keep getting better. Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time. Cheers.